Hey everyone, welcome back to Unsealed and Revealed, the web series from Sideshow in which me and my friends unbox and play around with the latest and greatest offerings from the 6 scale world. I'm Terry Smith, your host, and with me as always from way out in a galaxy far, far away that they call California is my buddy and comrade in arms, Guy Klender. What's up, Guy?
I'm feeling like an old smoothie over here. I'm loving it. Absolutely loving it. Can't wait to show off our buddy Lando.
Well, I'll try not to drink you up, you smoothie. And hanging out there also with him in a galaxy far, far away, but in a completely different part of it, is my buddy Paul Hernandez. What's happening there, Paul?
What's up, everyone? How you doing? Happy to be here. Finally, we've got someone that we are unsealing and revealing that is the best dressed person in the room. I'm so excited because Lando looks incredible. I'm sure a lot of you guys saw our first look at him, but you're gonna really get to see us take a great look here. But again, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, the Let Your Geek Side Show Facebook group, and on Twitch. If you guys have any questions for either Terry or Guy about anything at all, let us know, and I will relay that to them as ASAP as possible. All right, Let's hit it.
Bring it. Make it happen. Yeah.
All right.
Speaking of things that are going to happen, I wanted to let you guys know that we will not be doing our usual guess the reveal contest that we typically host on Tuesdays on the show. Reason for that is because everybody knows what's next. We've already gone through the trouble of announcing to everybody that tomorrow we will be doing the Hot Toys Shore Trooper Squad Leader figure. That's actually one that's really, really close to my heart. I really, really dig all the figures from Rogue One. So despite the fact that is this a Rogue One related thing or is it a Mandalorian related thing?
It falls under the Rogue One.
I think that's actually can be dealer's choice. So when you get it, you can tell your story and tell it your own way.
And it is classified as a movie masterpiece because Rogue One is in fact a masterpiece.
That's it. The MMS should have given it away. If I would have been thinking, I probably would have. I should have had that second cup of coffee today.
It's all right. I got you.
At any rate, following up on Thursday, we will be opening the Spider-Gwen 6-scale figure, which is really, really sweet. That entire line that Hot Toys is coming out with from Into the Spider-Verse is really going to be something to behold. I'm anticipating great things from them going forward. So without further ado and with that in mind, I'm going to just turn the show over to my buddy Guy. Guy, do your thing. Let's roll.
All right, let's take a look. So we're going to go straight forward there. We are getting that classic look that we've had with these. That is a photo of the figure holding that blaster. And of course, Terry, I know you know what blaster that is. We get a peek at kind of what the interior of that cape is going to look like. This is that gloss and matte. Now, you see down in the corner there that it did say it was the 40th anniversary of Empire. And so they've gone and done the special packaging on this. So once we remove that slipcover, we're getting that classic 1981 box style that we had. And I love that they're doing that with the double chrome bands around. We're going to get that foil. It's actually printed on there, but it's kind of reminiscent of when we would have those stickers, part of them being the mail away and all, but all done in that classic style. Again, photo of the figure there, your 40th anniversary there. Then on the side here, I think this is fun. This is something that was done again with those old school boxes, showing some of his additional features like the communicator and the collar, as well as the E11. On the other side, Lando there. Again with that cool cape wide open. Then on the back we see he and Boba, part of the other figures offered in that 40th anniversary line, which hopefully everybody watching the show did get. Now these are done in a thicker cardboard as far as the way the box is. It's a little bit different than what we've seen, and that's to give it that classic style on that. So you see, like I said, it's a little thicker. One thing they've done here, which is a little bit different, is there is a magnet down on the bottom which will lift this up, and it's so you get a full view of the window box there on it, but it's just a little extra unique quality that they did there. We open this up from the top. So the reason I wanted to show the bottom is if you do see that there, that's the folded. That's not where we're opening it. So you do have one small little tape dot that you're going to cut on the top. Terry, you and I always cut from the bottom, but not with this particular figure. Okay.
I will find a way, Guy.
Well, you'll find a way.
I will find a way.
All right. So we have 2 trays on this one here, as well as an insert under it, in between. That is really important. That's the instructions. I know you're going to say, why? Why is he all about the instructions? But this particular one, I think you're going to dig. In our top tray, you're going to have the figure himself, his additional hands, the 2 blasters, the wrist communicator and collar, the additional wrist pegs, and then underneath is going to be the display base. The display base does have an overlay as well, allowing us to do either kind of that traditional Imperial look that we've seen, the kind of the metal plating, but also one with the overlay that we are going to get to be more of a Cloud City. To go with that Cloud City, this is also packaged in there, and this is a neat little addition that you can add on, and it is a cardboard fold-out, some of the windows and hallways. Man, when you see Lando running through these hallways, and the guy's in high heels, there's not a lot of traction on those boots. Highly polished floors, and he's just whipping around these corners. He's got a very.
Dude, I would be doing some straight up Tom Cruise risky business stuff.
Yeah. I mean, that would be fantastic.
Legit.
You could just, if you could get the speed going, how much slide could you go all around the loop of Cloud City if you had really brand new socks? This
Don't
is one
ask
of those
me that
where
question, Guy, unless you really want it answered.
2 tabs on the back that'll fold and slide out. So this is, again, just a little addition. Now, if you follow the instructions, it'll kind of go up on an angle, but also it will fold there. If you wanted to kind of tuck it under your display stand, you would have that option as well. And then most importantly, tray number 2, it gets its own tray because it's that important and that awesome, is going to be his cape. All right.
Lando wears capes?
Lando wears capes. There is a cape room on the Falcon.
Me anything.
So we're going to quickly unpack this one here, and then we're going to pull the figure out and look at all of that. The cape, whenever they do cloth pieces, usually Hot Toys will do this. They'll put a kind of a cardboard piece in there to keep them in form and in shape, and they've done that with this one here, along with a little bit of tape that goes around that. Now that tape is a special fabric tape, so it will not be leaving sticky residue on the cape, but I don't think you're going to leave this in the box. I think this is pretty much the accessory you will have with it. So I'm going to take that out there. That could be one of the first things. We'll peek at it right now. Whoosh. That fabric.
That is a great pattern.
That is an absolutely incredible pattern.
The
Absolutely.
best moth.
Yeah, I mean, this is big. And it, okay, great. Michael's got a little close up there, so we'll jump ahead. It does have 2 elastic loops. You put these over the arms, pull the arms back. We, of course, will be doing that with this figure. We'd be silly not to.
That's a really great idea.
I had to actually watch the film to see how they do it, and most of the time, he actually is in that, that it is underneath. The one time
Only
you
when
see
he throws the cape over his shoulder.
The one time you see the cape where he flips it over the shoulder is when he has betrayed Han Solo. I did not care for that as a kid. He's betrayed Han Solo. Han slugs him, and the cape falls off, and then he flips it back up. That was one time where they had a special, I guess perhaps you call it the stunt cape.
So that's interesting. That kind of reveals to us that in reality, the cape is meant to simply be resting on Lando's shoulders.
Yes.
But the way that they did it was just to make it look, just so that it wouldn't fall off. They actually had safety straps.
Exactly. When you're watching this, even though it has that collar, most of the time we would think, oh, so it has to be like a shirt and be a tight collar. If you watch the film, that collar lays real wide. It's almost kind of here. And so it's got a little different style in which it did it. Now, one thing I want to jump into is the instructions. Yes, I know, most of the time instructions are not something that people can get excited about. However...
I'll be right back.
No, don't leave. Don't leave, Terry, because this is the cool part. This is an extra little cool part as far as paper goods. So again, done in that traditional style, the old school style there. Now, this is going to tell us about our figure. All right. So we've got all of the little instruction parts that we should follow, what hands to use for things, how to do our, how to put the cape on. It's important to know how to put on a cape, how to do the background. But this is what I want to show you. The other side is done as the classic poster, and it's showing some of the characters that they've released in the line. They did a 40th anniversary of Darth Vader, 40th anniversary of Boba Fett, and then, of course, we have Lando there.
Tell Hot Toys to call me when they've done a 40th anniversary of that Imp Star Deuce right there, that Imperial Star Destroyer.
Yeah. A 6-scale AT-AT might be interesting to see. But again, just as it's suitable for framing. But it is kind of neat that they've gone again with that kind of classic style. The Star Wars saga continues. So that's one in there. Now let's grab him. I'm going to face him toward our close-up camera. We're going to take a look. We're going to go head to toe, kind of spin him around, and I'm going to pull out all the accessories while we do that. It's a fantastic sculpt. Lando was really the only other major character added to our story. That was a big deal. If you watch back the teaser trailer for Empire Strikes Back, which blew our minds. I
haven't seen that in ages.
Oh, it blew our minds as kids. And as adults at the time. It just, you freaked out about it. But it was
in all fairness, it didn't take a lot to like blow my mind when I was that age. Not a lot has changed in that regard.
No. But the neat part with that was it was introducing this brand new character, and who was he? And the neat part is we've got to see him show up in the Star Wars galaxy a number of times. Sculpt on this
out in the crowd.
Oh yeah, the sculpt on this is fantastic. It is pure Billy D. Williams. I've had the pleasure of meeting him a number of times at conventions and other events, and this is that guy. This is that guy. He has that fun smile that he had, a little swashbucklerly, and of course having a swashbuckler style mustache as well. The eyes nice and bright. The skin tone on it is wonderful. The waves in the hair. Okay. I mean, you look at this from any side, it is Billy D. Williams. It is Lando Calrissian. You'll notice that there is no line on the neck as far as the way in which the joint is for the head is going to be down underneath the shirt, giving us that nice clean line. Discussing the shirt. This is that kind of nylon polyester cotton look with a hint of sheen that we had at the time. Beautifully tailored on that. If you look at how tight the seams and stitches are, particularly on the back cowl here, look at that, how tight that stitching is to get in something like that. It's spectacular. It does have that leather collar around on the front and then around on the wrists. As I said, it's really nicely tailored. We go down and we get that fun belt. Now, whether this was a Lando thing or whether this was a Cloud City thing or other, it is honking huge. But it's really pretty darn neat. Now, this is not glued in place or anything like that, so it does have a bit of mobility for you there.
He does kind of look like he won the Cloud City Wrestling Championship.
Exactly. Yeah, that is, and maybe that's a scene we didn't see. That may have been in an extended.
Maybe you didn't see it, Guy.
In an extended cut.
Us real fans, we sure as hell have.
Yeah,
that's something only the hardcore fans know about.
The way in which the pants are tailored. Again, this is also in that kind of slick nylon. For those of you that were around in this time in the early 80s, parachute pants were a big thing, kind of a nylon style pant. And these have that type texture to them, so they have a hint of sheen to them. Then getting down to that man's footwear. All right. Now, unlike what we saw with Han, Imperial Guards, and some of the others that had those tall black riding boots, this is more of a 3/4 boot. It's done in the leather, but this one's got a heck of a heel. When I rewatched the film last night to kind of take a look at the kind of how he ran in his stance, saw just how big that heel he had on there was. You'll notice this is not cut. It's not a cut boot. This is a full leather style boot. So when we are moving, and of course we do have a bulb joint on there, we're going to get lots of great looks on that, and it acts like the actual boot. Now, since we're down here It's probably important that I do. Okay, Terry, clear your throat, have a sip of coffee, and please say the magic words.
I already drank all my coffee.
Okay, say the magic words then.
It's time for Tread Watch.
Boom.
All right.
All right. As I said, this
Now my day's
guy
complete.
running around on high polished floors with almost a high polished shoe. Okay, there's a hint of an angle there on the front toe, but this is definitely a dress shoe. These guys are dressy shoes. Because I have the legs bent that back there, heck, we'll just jump into articulation and show that we do have double knee joint. And as I said, full articulation on the ankle. Hey, if you had your Darth Vader, look at that. We've got our
oh, he's already
when Chewbacca and Leia confront him and they are displeased with what he's done to Han, you can do that, which is neat. I think that's the neat part. There's a lot going on with Lando here. But okay, so we've got a double bend on the knee. Next up, let's talk about articulation in the hips. Because as you know, Terry, it is all in the hips.
No, I wasn't aware.
No.
Nobody tells me anything.
We're not aware of that. Yeah. We get a good wide stance on this. The only hindrance you're going to get is from the pant, not the underlying figure body, but I don't think you're ever going to go any further than that. Terry, that's a wide enough stance, yes? Wide enough stance.
It's more than any of us will ever need.
More than any of us are ever going to need. Yeah. We do have a straight out to almost 90 and back about 30 degrees on that. Always have my crossing the street type look. All right. Now time for...
It looks more like a disco dance move.
Disco, you know, that would
also
work in this. I mean, this outfit would be spectacular if in a club, you're listening to me go, they pull up the Star Wars music that he did that was absolutely fantastic, and all of us had as kids.
That outfit is perfect from any scene, from clubs to rodeos, my friend.
There you go.
Seriously.
Now,
from
Terry,
sea to shining sea.
It is your other favorite. It is time for the Terry Trunk Twist time.
I need to be doing a few of those myself lately.
So we get a good twist to both right and left on there. Mm-hmm. And the shirt behaves naturally on there. Okay, kind of keeping that look. Our side bends as well. All right. And then we do have a crunch in the abdominal region there. Also allows us to bend back. And yes, that's a thin fabric shirt there, isn't it? But beautifully done here. Now we'll go up into, look, I like that I have him just looking upward. Let's go on to our shoulders. Got our butterfly joint here. It's going to go great when we want to have two handholds of blasters and such. We can get 90 up. Our forward and backward. Obviously, he's got a full-on shirt, so we're not going to spin it all the way around. Double jointed.
No guts, no glory, guy. No guts, no glory.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna glory free on this one. Double joint there, and yes, this is intentional. If you watch, these are a shorter sleeve, and then our traditional ball joint on our wrist peg.
Nice.
All right, and we talked about the head, and as I said, we get a lot of movement on there. All right, I'm going to set Lando aside, show off our first, just for a moment.
All right.
Show off our first accessory. All right, here we go. Here is our base. As I said, this is kind of a bit of an imperial. This could also be a little reminiscent of the carbon freeze chamber. You see when I hit it on the edge there, all of the edges and kind of connection points have been given a little bit of a dry brushing. So it's not all one flat color. Chrome nameplate.
It's actually one of the best decode, if decode can be used as a word. It's one of the best decode bases of that style that I've seen Hot Toys put out.
Exactly.
I mean, unless my memory's failing me and they're all like that, but I don't think they are.
No,
I think they're usually pretty uniform.
You're right, Terry. It is, and I'm glad you bring this one up. As far as it decode like that, we're seeing kind of a silver-esque but almost kind of a hint of bronze in there. And I bring that up because with this E11 blaster, if you or anyone at home has one of their figures and an E11 there, the dry brushing and aging on the one for Lando is a little bit different in color, and I kind of dig on it. Next, we have an overlay, giving us another option. This is that Cloud City floor.
There you go.
All right. As I said, there's multiple ways in which to do the Lando as far as how you're going to pose him if you interact with other figures or not, but we do have a little bit more of the base there. And then, of course, this is the standard underside base there, so we can, you'll plug it in like so. All right. Now, I just brought that up, the E11. I'm going to ask Michael to close up on this guy as close as we can go, because as I said, this is a little bit different. Let me see if I underlight if you catch it. No, not as much. That's sort of, but you can see the dry brushing, particularly on the front area there, those wiper blades. Oh, thank you. Look at how good he's. Boom. It has, instead of a silver, it's almost a bronze brassy look on the dry brushing. It's just an interesting new take on this particular weapon. Now with these ones here, they've also done that where you've got a little peg that holds right there. It's going to lock in there. But if you needed to do shoulder stock, it is articulated as the actual prop gun was. And on the back, you even got that little metal loop that they would have had a strap attached with during its time as an actual firearm. Cross hatch on the handle, fantastic.
Cross stitch, yeah.
Cross stitch. Well, maybe somebody cross stitched a holder for their blaster on the way.
I'm sure that at some point in time, there's been some fan out there who has legitimately cross-stitched that very thing.
If anyone has cross-stitched a blaster holder or belt, maybe a Han belt, cross-stitch. There you go. I like this one. I've always liked this. Terry, there we go. Terry, I'm sure you're going to tell me the type of blaster on this one here.
DH 19.
I think this is the. I think it's a DH 18 actually.
18.
But we're going to let the.
Sound off in the comments, everybody. Which one of us is
folks in the comments know that. I always kind of dug this little bit here with the hint of red in there. This is, of course, a much glossier version of the weapon than we see with with those E11 or the traditional what we kind of call Stormtrooper blasters. We've got that silver up in the front, silver on the trigger. Again, the crosshatch, and this, just like the other, does have the little metal loop in the back. All right, we've got some specialty hands. Okay, particularly both of these specialty hands.
I just want to bring up that both of those blasters, the DL17 actually. I actually had a note 17? Written down, but it's the DL17. Yeah, so we were both wrong. DL17. Both that blaster and the E11 for the props use the same gun for the props as the base for the props. They're both based on
off the front
British
part.
Sterling machine gun. Yeah.
Wow, fantastic. I love the fans that get into knowing what the props was, whether that be, woman's razor we saw with Qui-Gon's communicator and things like that. I really like the use of real world things versus completely fabricated things. So we are going to, there we go. We are going to have, I like this, I make it look like a boxing match. We're going to have our both right and left fist.
Knuckle me, baby.
Boom, 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 yeah. There we go. Your right hand, you're going to have two additional ones. We are going to have, for the right hand, we're going to have that trigger and blaster holder, but we also have this one here, okay? And this one is unique in that it holds a very special prop.
Yes.
And that is communicator, in which he tells...
Attention, this is Lando Calrissian.
Exactly. Tells the members of Cloud City it is time to evacuate. So that's going to hold in there like that, and then while Michael's got the close-up, I am going to show it here, and it is done with that This is all really very, very lifelike of what the actual prop is, down to that little screen on the side in which he speaks into, that little microphone connection point.
That thing makes your fingers look huge.
I know, exactly. And then the last up.
He puts it down.
Yeah, exactly. It look gigantic. Well, the last of the little guys is going to be the wrist communicator for talking to probably the best cosplay I can do when clean shaven, Lobot.
Damn right.
You're darn right. Lobot is a very unique individual. If I'd had a gray sweater vest and a white puffy shirt, I probably would have been in that today. But you do have the little wrist communicator that he talks to there. I want to hold it here and show off right here. The part that goes on the wrist is an elastic bit. You can kind of see me moving it there. So it'll slide over the wrist and you don't have to worry about damaging it. Lastly, the big guy. All right, let's discuss. Let's close up. All right, you've got the 2 loops there. As I said, your instructions are going to tell you to put the arms backward. The loops are large enough you don't necessarily have to take the hands off. I always do with something like that.
That is wise.
You do have a thin little wire right up in the collar of it, which is going to allow you to kind of get real screen accurate there and kind of have it lay directly the way you want. The interior lining, though, boy, did they nail that and shrink that down from life size into 1/6. If you watch the film and you kind of freeze frame, as I do, and you look at that pattern, boom, there it is. So this is a 2, well, I was going to say 2-ply, but you're going to have, of course, the light blue and then the printed under as well. Very long cape and very full. As you can see, this baby, whoosh.
And there are no wires in that cape, or is it wired?
We have down in the bottom.
Wired at the bottom. Okay.
Boom. Okay. Now this is kind of it's a very, very thin wire. Okay. So be cautious with it. You know, we're used to it because you notice you don't really see it. A lot of times we can kind of feel that. Mm-hmm. This is such a thin wire that you almost don't realize that it's there.
Gotcha.
So with it being that size, I'm going to say it's going to need a delicate hand when you're doing that. But most of the time his cape is kind of falling straight down, more traditional over the shoulder. But we'll do a little bit with the wire, I'm sure. So there we have it. I think we've gone over all of the things that he comes with. I'm going to stand him up at attention. What have we here? And now I'll answer any questions there for you, sir.
Yeah, I was just wondering if there have been any questions yet, Paul. Is there anybody chiming in? We're good?
Yes. No? So we had a couple of questions earlier. If you, Guy, could talk about again, people always want to know the material of the fabric. How does it move? I mean, we'll get into that a little bit in the posing. And then also, because we have a ton of people who this is possibly their first time watching, they want to know, how do you protect this kind of figure, this kind of fabric, that kind of thing, which I know you guys have answered before, but if you could maybe give the spark notes. For
all right. I'll talk about the type of fabric it is, or my speculations on kind of what they're using, but I'd like Terry to chime in on the proper care and technique of care
can do that.
For one like this. So I think that's where Gandalf there will be very, very helpful. I wish I could pull that look off.
Cosplay en route, cosplay inbound.
I get bald Irish Jedi is about the best look I can pull off.
That's exactly it.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Irish Jedi. Yeah. I'm in one frame of the Clone Wars, leaping off to the side as that. But the fabric on the figure there, both the pant and the shirt are going to be the same material. This is kind of like a polyester nylon. This isn't as I said, it has a slick feeling. For those of you that may have, I brought up parachute pants or anything like that. dare I say the word blousey, but of course it does work with the cut on this and the way in which the shirt was designed, that it does have that feel to it versus a cotton. There's nothing really rubberized or anything other than you do have that leather on the cuffs and on the collar on that. The belt
hey, Guy,
is molded. Yes, sir.
Maybe because I think one of the things people wanted to see was, how the fabric moved. So if we can jump into posing,
Great.
you can maybe tell people like how the fabric moves while
we're doing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Well, let's do that. I'm going to put some things aside. If we're going to jump into posing, Terry, why don't we do one like this before I put on the cape? If you want to decide what we're going to do.
Okay. So here we go. Here's what I got in mind for that.
All right.
Definitely. I'm gonna first of all.
You old smoothie. Let me
from
see.
my computer and dial that back. And I've got to make a few adjustments here with my audio to make sure that you guys can still hear me when I go all the way back there.
I really thought the
unfortunately,
adjustment was on belt.
Guy, I'm going to need you to give the man an E11.
Give this man an E11. All right, I'm going to put that E11 in the hand before I attach to the figure, so I've already got that one ready, and I'm going to remove the right hand.
And I'm legitimately barefoot for today's show, so you'll have to imagine the boots.
I would have thought you would have had a 3/4 boot with a heel, but apparently you don't.
Wow.
Go ahead, sir. What am I doing?
Okay, man. Now I'm trying to remember. Did Lando shoot left-handed?
Lando was a double. Yeah, when we see him right when they're trying to escape Cloud City, he comes out, he holds that baby high, and he's right up here. He's a right trigger finger with a left underneath.
We're gonna get him to bring. You got to bring that elbow up.
Okay.
Right? I mean, not like this high. Don't exaggerate it like that, but just get it nice and up and back.
Mm-hmm.
And even though he's not going to have the stock back,
Mm-hmm.
he's going to be pretending that he does because he's going to be aiming down the sight.
Got it.
So just feet slightly more than shoulder width apart, and just aiming down the width of his body.
Got it. All right. There was.
Now what I would do.
Go ahead.
Now what I would do to enhance that guy is to I would just kind of have him hunched a little bit. Because he's going to try to make his body as small a target as possible, so he's going to be kind of hunched while he has it up.
Mm-hmm. All right. Could you turn to the side, please? Because I want to see your arms and the height in which you have your arms. Great. Spectacular.
All right.
All right. Now, talk to me about the trunk twist. Your chest, when you've got it there, have you moved it side to side, or are we kind of right on the edge there?
I think I'm just going to move it. I'm going to rotate it a little bit to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Ever so slightly. I mean, when I was standing there, I legitimately didn't think that my torso was twisted.
It's a very small twist, if any. Yep. Mm-hmm. Wow. This figure is doing a lot of pose just on his own.
Yeah.
You talked about something like...
I love it. That just makes it easier for us to do two poses.
Do a little bit of little waist crunch there. So we're talking a little something like this. Now let's take a look at the legs. Terry, I didn't see legs exactly where you had them going.
Well, they were slightly more than shoulder width apart and bent ever so slightly at the knees.
All right. Well, that's good. I did get that correct. It did look like that's what you kind of had.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Boom.
Let me see that from the front there like that.
From the front. I cannot wait to put this next to my other figures. Empire was a very big thing for me.
Actually, this is what I would do. I see where you've got the hands there, and this is what I would do with that.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually alter that by instead of having the gun straight, like you see how it's back like this?
Mm-hmm.
One of two things. I would either move it forward
Mm-hmm.
like that, or if you're going to have it back like that, then I would bring it up like he's getting ready to peek around a corner. And
all
you could
right.
even rotate the head, and you could even rotate the head the other way, so that he's legitimately doing that. So that's like two poses in one, ladies and gentlemen. that we just did for you there?
Yeah, I was rewatching and doing a little freeze frame on kind of how he does that crouching when they're escaping. And yeah, having that the gun there, having the butterfly joints in the shoulder allows me to move those arms nice and tight to the body. I'm going to lift it up there because I know Terry's going to be very, very pleased that I can do it nice and tight up against the body there.
You got it.
Look at that old smoothie.
You ready to do one with the cape?
Kaboom. All right, let's do.
Okay, yes, let's.
All right. I'm going to remove the hands. Paul, I know right now is very quiet, but I think he's in a website looking and purchasing capes.
That is correct.
Paul has quite a cape collection. He doesn't necessarily show them off on the show too often, but there are a few of us who've seen them.
You know? Yeah, I try not to be too flashy. I want to just be treated like a normal person. So I don't wear my capes as often as I should be. Not like whatever Terry's doing. It looks like the Revenant.
That is
I'm totally tied this thing in a knot that I'm never going to be able to get untied later on down the line. I totally do look like the Revenant. Thank you. That's a good
I love it.
Nailed it. Right.
Terry, did you bake any cookies, and can I have some cocoa, please?
Okay, now here's what I would do with Lando, with his
cape.
With his cape.
Got
Just
it.
gotta have him kind of like cock slightly to the side, and get this arm out just a little bit with the cape draped over it.
We are going with the.
Like he's doing this.
All right. Now, right now, you are doing a left-hand blaster.
Left-hand blaster.
I am going to double check that as far as our blaster trigger hand. That is only in the right side, but there, if we do a close-up, is the left hand that comes with the figure on there. So it looks like I'm able to kind of adjust that to give it that look that you did.
Go ahead and do the right hand.
Nope, that's fine. No, I want to show that we've got that. So go back to your left hand. Let's give it a whirl. Let's do it up. So go ahead.
It's dangling off me here. All right, cool. So he's gonna be kind of leaning towards the left. So his weight's gonna be on. I'm gonna just move this cape aside so that you can see where my legs are. But he's gonna be kind of leaning on this left leg, and the right leg is gonna be straight. And then the blaster's gonna be out like this. So we'll have the torso twisted to the right when you do that, because he's gonna be leading with the gun. And the cape's going to be out like this kind of behind him.
Terry, I'm only a few steps into what you're doing, and this figure is just coming to life. I'm really digging what he's doing. Really, really digging what he's doing.
I'm going to try to undo this knot that I've tied in my...
Oh, no. I think you keep that on. Keep that on for at least the duration of the show.
It's really warm in my house, Guy.
If not the duration of the day.
Why do you want me to suffer in the heat, Guy?
Well... Hey, pray I don't alter it any further.
I feel like I should be really comfortable right now, and I think like in a month or two, like when I'm neck deep into a St. Louis autumn, that I'll probably be really glad that I have this thing around the house.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just have to figure out how to untie these knots.
There you go.
Okay, Terry. I do feel like I look really homeless. We will obviously be doing some tweak action.
Yeah, that's going to take a bit of work.
But I want to quickly turn him around.
Damn, that looks good. I know it's not done, but man.
Yeah, I mean, this is all going to be those tiny little tweaks that we would do. And again, I would play with it the whole time. In fact, I think because he has this...
Before you do anything else, Guy, right away, just to make it look really awesome, I would totally. Oh, you're giving him a little bit of support here. That's good.
Well, I also wanted to show off that Bespin stand.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I would definitely do more of a twist to the torso, just to his right, so that he's like really reaching out there with that gun, leading with the torso, the shoulder, and into the arm, and then the cape arm won't be out to the side; it'll be towards the back. Like the hips will be flat to the camera, pretty much.
How are we doing?
You're getting it. That's it. Now, I need to tell everybody at home that Guy's not going to have time to do everything that he should do with the cape. When a cape comes when a cape comes to you this posable, you're able to do a lot of great things with it, but it will take time to get it right, and we just don't have that amount of time on the show today. But what you've done there so far, Guy, is actually pretty. It's got a nice flow to it. It looks really good.
It is an incredible look you get out of the figure. You know, for something that's relatively simple, when we talk about, you know, a guy in the blue with a cape that is just so iconic.
Guy, really quick before you go on, I just feel I saw on the YouTube channel that there was a question from Jacko Breedveld. He asks, "Is the cape stiff?" It doesn't seem like it's stiff to me, but
No,
so I feel like we
you know
ought
what?
to clarify that it's not.
Let me turn it to the side there, Jacko. I'm going to kind of lift this. Now remember, it's not stiff, but it does have 2 layers. Okay, so this isn't a thin cape. As you can see, kind of see how it moves there. It's not incredibly stiff. You are going to be able to adjust it. As I said, that wire down there is thin, so it's hard to see that it's there, but you can do it. It's just going to take a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, enjoyable time. Now, I did use that base that he's on, the Cloud City base.
Yeah, looks good.
That's the other time we saw the Cloud City base.
Oh, look at her.
They, of course, were dealing with these fellows.
I legitimately have that Bespin Leia figure downstairs and completely forgot about it.
Oh, that is...
It's in the basement all alone. Oh, this is good. Yeah, keep them coming.
This guy wasn't happy with what he did to his buddy, and neither was I. Sometime I'll have to tell you the story of how young Guy reacted in the theater for this particular one.
Were there tears, Guy?
Well, yes, there were. I was inconsolable when Han came up out of the carbon chamber and it fell down, boom, and we see him in the Americana Theater in Southfield, Detroit, Michigan. I stood up and screamed at the top of my lungs, "No!" and was inconsolable for a long time after. I really, really lost it. You don't really mess with Han in my world there, and so that was a biggie.
Yeah.
And of course, we talked about the 40th.
I'm sorry. I'm admiring how good this whole scene looks right now. The color palette we have going on between Leia's gown.
Ooh.
Even though it's not screen accurate, that's not the outfit that she had on while she was in the Bespin carbon freezing chamber.
You forgot to push up your glasses when you said that, Terry.
Yeah, this was the outfit she's wearing when
the power of my mind, Paul.
Yeah, this is the outfit when she no longer trusts Lando. However,
yes.
This is also, right then, that's where he gets bonked, pop, and the cape goes flying off. So you could do an over-the-shoulder cape deal with him. But he's a great addition. Again, part of that 40th anniversary from Empire. I think we do have a few more that Hot Toys has talked about getting from Empire that I am excited about. But man, is Lando neat.
Fingers crossed there, Daddy-O. I'd love to see a Han Solo.
I'd love to see a Han Solo. I know that we're getting the Snowspeeder Luke available for pre-order. That was an instant.
That should be inbound really soon.
That was an instant click for me on that one there. So Empire was such a big thing. I think Empire is one of those continuous discussions of I'm stranded on an island. Everybody always says they're going to bring Empire with them, and that is so. So where it stays in the love of Star Wars is high up there. Hey there, buddy. I used to have hair like that.
Be nice to have a disassembled seat. That's God. I just love that setup. I don't have any Empire figures on display in my room. I'm kind of feeling the lack now. So if this show has won anybody over, you can easily say that it's won me over. I'm. Wow, that's
now we showed
really
the Leia backdrop there that attached to the base. This is the base for the Lando, the proximity style base that you're going to get there.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
All right, I'm just kind of holding it up, but it does have the 2 tabs that you'll do. So you've got that as well. Just another option for you.
All that thing is missing is a carbonite Han, also from Sideshow, and a Boba Fett.
Yes, make sure you've got those. Make sure you've got those
right here.
What do we got? Oh, look at this! Somebody brought in Boba Fett. Hey
wait. Is it Paul?
It's Paul from work.
There. Oh, yeah. There he is.
Nice.
Oh.
I do have different colored gloves on for him, so please don't send me hate mail.
Paul,
I know it's not.
I just have to point out, Paul, that is actually the Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, you're jumping ahead by a couple of years there.
I'm done.
Not that Terry and I would know the difference. Is that the circle hand on the glove?
Nobody can tell.
What is that? Is that a full circle on the glove? Did it get a misfire? Yes. For those of us that have been collecting for far too long.
I just want to tell everyone that behind our chats, our boss and our fearless leader, Alan Heller, just said, "What a loser."
Yes.
This is what bullying looks like at Sideshow.
Terry and I are definitely part of the Losers Club from another franchise.
Yourself,
but definitely. Yeah, pick this one up, Terry. Do not wait on this guy. I think he's going to be a figure that if, much like Leia, if you wait and they're gone, you're going to wind up kicking yourself for not jumping on it.
Sorry, I bothered you all with my friendship.
Is it time to log off yet? I can't call anymore. Just can't. It's not the same.
Speaking of segues.
Speaking of segues, I'm glad you guys got to watch us all have this banter today. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining us for the unveiling, the unsealing, the revealing, the unrevealing of the Lando Calrissian 6-scale figure by Hot Toys. It's really a remarkable looking figure that definitely exceeded my expectations, and my expectations were pretty high. Thanks to my co-hosts, Paul and Guy, for making this thing as fun and enjoyable as possible. Thanks also to the team out there in California at Sideshow, producer Alan, super producer Sam, producer Michael, if he's there today.
He is.
Really appreciate you all and everything you do, but appreciate everybody, all of you back home who took the time out of your day to tune in and watch us. Thanks so much, and until next time, don't forget to let your geek side show.
Bye, everyone.
Nailed it.